The courtroom of Judge Mildred Wagner served as her absolute domain, where she wielded power as judge, jury, and frequently executioner, especially toward those she considered undeserving. When Darius Washington, a black man dressed in a somewhat wrinkled suit, appeared before her on a minor traffic warrant, her ingrained bias reduced him to nothing more than a stereotype, a criminal in need of harsh correction. She dismissed all explanations without consideration and imposed a 48-hour jail sentence for contempt. Unbeknownst to Judge Wagner, the individual she aimed to incarcerate was far from an ordinary citizen. He was the city's most prominent attorney and her incoming superior. Courtroom 3B within the Kings County Courthouse transcended its role as a mere judicial space, evolving into a shrine dedicated to Judge Mildred Wagner's unyielding authority. The century-old oak paneling, meticulously maintained, and the polished brass barriers beneath stark fluorescent illumination all bore testament to her meticulous oversight. Even the atmosphere felt deliberately oppressive, infused with the musty scent of aged documents, floor polish, and the sharp undercurrent of unchallenged dominance. At the epicenter, elevated on her judicial platform, presided Judge Wagner, a woman in her late 60s molded by inherited wealth and rigid convictions. Her silver hair was invariably secured in a strict bun, and her robes, impeccably pressed, resembled protective armor rather than mere garments. In the hushed corridors of the courthouse, she was covertly referred to as Mildred the Merciless, a moniker earned through her infamous commitment to structure, lineage, and uncompromising verdicts. Her grandfather, Judge Theodore Wagner, had once commanded this very bench, and she positioned herself as the vigilant custodian of that stern heritage. Her routine morning caseload unfolded as a monotonous display of human shortcomings. Intoxicated motorists, minor offenders, distraught guardians, and rebellious youths, all encountered with her characteristic aloof scorn. "Next case," she intoned flatly. "Docket 88B, The People versus Washington," proclaimed her bailiff, Frank Gibbons, a robust and enduring figure long adapted to her demeanor. "Counsel?" Wagner inquired curtly. A fatigued young woman in an inexpensive suit stood. "Anna Shapiro, Your Honor, representing from the Public Defender's Office. My client faces a bench warrant for non-appearance on a traffic infraction." Wagner's attention finally shifted upward, surveying the chamber. "Well, where is he? Don't inform me he's absent for his own absence hearing. The sheer nerve." "He is present, Your Honor." "Security detained him," Shapiro responded with restraint. The side entrance opened, and Deputy Gibbons guided in a tall, well-built black man clad in a disarrayed dark gray suit, his tie loosened, his countenance a veil of suppressed exasperation. This was Darius Washington. Judge Wagner examined him intently, his complexion, orderly dreadlocks, and tousled attire. Her lip curled faintly in contempt, a gesture instantly noted by Shapiro, Gibbons, and the observers. It signaled impending judgment. Within her mind, Wagner seethed. The audacity, arriving in a costly suit, doubtless acquired through dubious means, flouting legal obligations. This exemplified the societal erosion she combated relentlessly. "So, you are Mr. Washington?" Wagner remarked with condescension. Darius maintained his composure. "Yes, Your Honor." "Silence!" she ordered sharply, her command resonating. "You address the court only when authorized. As a defendant, your counsel speaks on your behalf. Considering your non-appearance, your reliability is non-existent. Miss Shapiro, what justification does your client offer for squandering judicial resources?" Anna Shapiro steadied herself at the podium. "Your Honor, proper service was not executed on Mr. Washington. The notice went to a residence he vacated 3 years ago. The citation pertained to a vehicle disposed of in 2022. He attended voluntarily to rectify this administrative oversight, only to be flagged by the unknown warrant at entry." "A clerical oversight? How opportune," Wagner mocked, disregarding the presented sales document. "My concern lies with the disregarded warrant, indicating disdain for the legal system." "Your Honor, that assertion is evidently incorrect," Darius interjected steadily. Wagner's gaze ignited with outrage. "Did I grant you leave to speak? Or do you presume your voice supersedes courtroom protocols?" Gibbons murmured inaudibly, identifying Darius from internal communications, but unable to intercede amid her escalating temper. "Your Honor," Darius continued, "I serve as an officer of the court. I merely intended to—" This provocation proved insurmountable for Wagner. "You are no officer of the court. How dare you feign such status? That constitutes a separate offense." Shapiro's expression widened in dismay. She recognized this as the point of no return for Mildred the Merciless, unleashing unrestrained severity. Your Honor, please, Shapiro entreated. He isn't the correct individual. Wagner closed her dossier with finality. I've reviewed sufficiently. Before me stands an individual exhibiting utter disregard, neglecting appearance, disrupting security, interrupting a presiding judge twice, and falsely asserting court affiliation. I tolerate no such manipulations. The assembly held collective breath as Wagner advanced. I perceive you plainly, Mr. Washington. You assume you can defy authority and depart unscathed. You are erroneous? An oppressive hush enveloped the space. Reporter Ben Carter jotted notes fervently, detecting an unfolding scandal. Darius inhaled deeply, his background in intense legal battles tempering his indignation. Your Honor, if you would examine the records or permit my identification. The warrant lists Darius L. Washington. I am Darius James Washington. The birth date is erroneous. Wagner derided the detail. I'm uninterested in evasions. This is insolence, Shapiro objected. $5,000 bail for a citation? Yet Wagner persisted. For contempt, 48 hours incarceration, commencing forthwith. Gasps rippled through the observers. Carter nearly fumbled his device. This constitutes misuse, Shapiro exclaimed. Silence, lest you join him, Wagner bellowed. Deputy Gibbons, remove Miss Shapiro, she too is in contempt, and detain this defendant. Expedite processing before midday. Gibbons blanched, his hand resting on his firearm, aware of the new DA's identity from memos. Your Honor, perhaps a brief recess for verification. Challenging my directive? Apprehend him! Gibbons advanced hesitantly, but the primary doors exploded inward, violating the sanctity. Presiding Judge Leonard Hoffman entered forcefully, accompanied by marshals. A commanding figure in his 70s, an ex-Marine renowned for composure yet formidable ire. The chamber stilled. Judge Hoffman, Wagner faltered, I am conducting a sentencing. This is my domain. Hoffman disregarded her, advancing centrally. All seated, he breached the bar, nearing Darius. Wagner recoiled from his intensity. You shall remain silent, he mandated. Addressing Darius apologetically. Mr. Washington, deepest regrets, systemic failure. Security ought to have contacted my office, not restrained you. Wagner's thoughts raced. New identification? Hoffman elaborated. Release Miss Shapiro. Remove your hand from your weapon, deputy. Shapiro massaged her arm, perplexed. Leonard, he is a defendant. Hoffman confronted her. He spoke truth, Mildred. This is Darius James Washington, Yale Law alumnus, former U.S. attorney, Petrova prosecutor you discussed in seminars. Murmurs surged. Shapiro stifled a gasp. Carter messaged urgently. Wagner paled. The disheveled attire from an overnight flight, not indigence. The warrant, administrative lapse for a disposed vehicle. He arrived to amend it prior to his 10 a.m. engagement, with me and the judiciary. Wagner quivered. Engagement with whom? Hoffman glared icily. Permit introduction. Judge Wagner? Behold Chief Prosecutor Darius Washington, confirmed last month, assuming DA leadership at 9 a.m. The disclosure devastated her. She'd attempted to incarcerate her new overseer, master of prosecutions in her court. Wagner babbled excuses, but Darius stayed stoic. You were imposing contempt sentence. Hoffman mandated recess. Wagner retreated hastily. He evacuated the chamber, commending Shapiro. In his chambers he fumed, catastrophe, overt racism. Darius, concerns not me, but successors lacking my status. She targeted an archetype. Hoffman concurred, contacting judicial conduct. Urgent, code red. By midday, Hoffman lodged a complaint. Wagner suspended, removed. Carter's article detonated. Judge incarcerates new chief prosecutor, bias suspected. Nationwide by dusk, with transcripts and footage unveiling her dismissals. Wagner engaged Preston Howell, attributing to unruly defendant. Error. Hoffman disclosed incriminating proof. JCC proceedings, 2-week public ordeal. Howell assailed witnesses' integrity. Counsel Maria Chen rebutted, victim blaming. Dr. Patel's analysis, 350% elevated minority sentences. Bigotry, not rigor. Gibbons, feared her authority. Commission, bias pattern. 3-day deliberation. Wagner appeared diminished. Chairman Everett Price, appalling prejudice. Permanent dismissal, office ban, pension revocation. Wagner crumpled, keening. Karma, obliterated heritage. Month hence, courtroom 3B illuminated, curtains gone, desk lowered. Darius unveiled Conviction Integrity Unit, scrutinizing Wagner's decade with Shapiro co-leading. Alliance over opposition, vacant portrait, condemnation. Gibbons, most righteous in 20 years. Darius, merely commencement. Echoes heralded equitable justice. Narrative underscores. Bias conceals behind authority. Wagner deemed invincible. Truth prevailed. Karma comprehensive. Legacy dismantled. Views on misuse? Gratifying fall? Comment. Like for impartial justice. Subscribe for deserved reckonings.